Guys, what's up? My name is Joshua Ho, and as of making this video, I'm a student at Ohlone College taking COM 113, Interpersonal Communications. Today, I'm going to be attempting to answer the question, what can you do to be successful in this class? Now, by this class, I'm assuming you mean COM 113, but I think that this also applies to a certain point to other communication classes that you might be taking at Ohlone. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to keep this short, simple, and sweet. Here's the golden nugget to being successful in this class. Listen carefully. The best thing you can do to succeed in this class is to get that A. Okay, maybe that's not the best of... No, that's actually the worst advice that I can give. It's gonna take effort for you to get there, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. Alright, jokes aside, I want to start out by addressing a very big problem that everybody, or at least a lot of people, including myself, is dealing with. That problem is procrastination. And that brings me to my first point, and I'm going to lay down the hammer for this one. Do not procrastinate. Don't do it. If you procrastinate, you're probably going to end up going like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do and I only have 30 minutes to complete this assignment. Don't do that, guys. Don't wait until the very last minute. From a psychological point of view, you're not going to be at your best cognitively because you're going to be stressing out so much about getting the project done by the deadline within a short time frame. If you're stressing out, you're not going to do well cognitively. That's only going to serve to limit you on the quality of work and effort that you put into the assignment. And there's a domino effect. I don't think I need to explain the rest because it should be pretty obvious. So don't wait until the last minute to get things done. That being said, create a schedule. You know, from my experience, communication classes tend to follow a certain format. You got things like discussion posts, readings, quizzes due at a certain time. So create a schedule. Not only will this help you to minimize procrastinating, it'll also help you to get things done in an orderly fashion and without forgetting anything. In fact, let me tell you guys a story. Once upon a time, it was Tuesday night. I'd say 11 p.m. I was just getting ready to head to bed because Wednesday was going to be a pretty long day, and I wanted to get the rest. So I was preparing to go to bed, and then I was like, oh, snap! I have a discussion post due tomorrow, and I haven't even worked on it! So I panicked. And of course, I got the discussion post done, and it got graded. I didn't get 100%. That was very tragic. So I think that drives the point home. Create a schedule so you know what exactly you gotta do, and so you won't forget anything. And of course, there was also the procrastination element in there. So those 2 points, not procrastinating and creating a schedule, go hand in hand. Now, I just mentioned about discussion posts. They're a very common theme or assignment that appears in communication classes from what I've experienced. That being said, I know this is a communication class. I know you're here to learn about comm theories and whatnot, but writing good grammar is essential for you to be able to pass this class because you're going to be writing discussion posts and you're going to be graded on the quality of it. So you gotta have good grammar in order to write a good discussion post or a great discussion post. That being said, if you haven't taken English 101A and it's required for your GE anyway, I would highly recommend that you take it because it'll really help you to sharpen your grammar skills in terms of those boring essay writings. I mean, they're boring, but they're necessary. And that will indirectly benefit you in the communication classes when you have a writing assignment to complete. All right, the next point that I want to make is participate in activities. All right, activities don't necessarily mean assignments, but I've noticed that activities, especially when I've participated in them, are really, really beneficial. So in some communication classes, the instructor starts out with an activity where you break up into groups and you discuss something or you do something together, and the activity is geared in a way that it helps you to understand the concept. And I'm always amazed by the activities that we do in the class, followed by the lecture, because it makes so much sense. Like, I experienced the concept without even knowing it, and when the instructor started lecturing on it, I was like, oh my goodness, I just experienced it. And that's the coolest thing that I could say about communication classes. I think that's one of the reasons that I think communication classes are so interesting. All right, why am I saying this? If you get to experience the concept, then it's going to be easier for you to get the concept. And you definitely need to know the concept in order to do well on the assignments that reinforce the concept. So get in the activity, experience it for yourself, and learn the concept in one of what I think is the best way possible so you can do well on your assignments. The next point I want to make is extra credit. Yeah, I know, probably just a measly 5 points or whatnot. But seriously, guys, what if you're having a borderline grade? What if your grade is C+, and all it needed was just 1 point for you to get into the B range? That's when the extra credit comes in handy. So take advantage of that, guys. Now, from my experience, there are group presentations in a communication class. So this kind of puts into play all the points that I've mentioned to you guys so far. But what I really want to stress in terms of group presentations is you guys are working together. So this should give you more of a reason to not procrastinate and to have an organized schedule. But from what I've seen, in order to do well with a group presentation, number one, you gotta really read the prompt. I mean, you could create the most great sounding speech ever or presentation ever and have your grade docked because you failed to address a certain point that was listed in the rubric. And all that hard work, it goes down the drain. So what I'm trying to say here is, make sure you read the prompt carefully. Make sure you understand the prompt carefully. And make sure that you follow it and that you actually include it in your presentation. That's probably one of the biggest things that you should keep in mind when you're doing a group presentation. Alright. So let's say that you're in this class and you don't have any idea on what to do, or you just can't understand a concept. What do? You ask for help. That's the next point I want to make. You're not being stupid when you ask for help. You're being smart because you know your limitations, but you want to get better than that. And the smartest thing to do is to ask for help. When you ask for help, now you're going to be able to obtain the knowledge that you previously did not have. So don't be shy, guys. If you need anything, reach out to your instructor or TA if appropriate, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you. Same goes for your peers. You can also reach out to your peers too. Alright, this final point that I want to make is a little bit complex, but in short, it's to be motivated. You got to be motivated in this class in order to have the energy and the passion to do well in the class. But here's where it gets hard. Guys, I can't teach you to be motivated. That has to come from in here. Nevertheless, I can give you a couple of reasons why you should be motivated to do well and to learn everything in this class. But in the end, it's on you guys to make the decision on being motivated or to not be motivated. You know, I've heard interesting stories of things that have happened in communication classes. I've heard 2 students that have actually gotten together in a relationship because they took interpersonal communication, which is about relationships. And they fell in love. That's like the coolest thing ever. Now, of course, everybody's different. You might have a different situation. Well, we all have different situations. You might be in the middle of a job interview, or you might be in the middle of interviewing for a job. Maybe you have this crush on someone, but you just don't know if the nonverbal cues they're giving you is a sign for you to either get closer and take this relationship a step further or to back off. The possibilities are endless, guys. But if you take communication, it's really going to help you to understand the concepts. And maybe you'll be able to read the nonverbal cues. Maybe you'll be able to ace that job interview because now you know what the interviewers are looking for from a communication point of view. One last thing I want to mention. You know, I learned this early on in Com 113. You know, there's 5 axioms to communication. One of them is you cannot not communicate. You might be sitting here watching this video and you might be going like, this is such a boring video. When's this guy gonna stop talking? Maybe there's no one in the room. Maybe you're just talking to the screen. Yeah, that's communication. The point is, you're communicating all the time. So why not learn more about this so you can better your communication skills? Because you're going to be stuck with it for a lifetime. Make the best out of it, guys. So, to summarize, how can you do well in this class? Don't procrastinate. Create a schedule. Have good grammar skills. Participate in activities and opportunities for extra credit. And understand the prompts and the rubric for group activities. Ask for help when you need it. And be motivated. Alright, that's going to be the end of this video. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you need anything, I'm going to say this one more time. If you need anything, please, please, please email your instructor or TA for help. They'll be more than happy to help you guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope this video helped. And until next time, Peace.